This is the Object 263. It's a Tier 10 Soviet tech tree tank destroyer. It's a vehicle which features some of the highest DPM in Tier 10, great mobility, and pretty troll armor. And when you pair all of these things together, it allows the 263 to be an incredibly dangerous tank. I honestly have a super fun time playing in this vehicle, and we're going to see just exactly what we can do in it for today's video. So let's get straight into the queue. Now, the thing about the 263 is that a lot of people really underrate it. I'm not going to sit here and say that the 263 is an overpowered tank, because it's not. In the current meta, mediums are king, right? The E50M, the M48 Patton, even though the STB one isn't as good as it used to be, it still dominates. And when you have these mediums, which have more DPM than any other class, more accuracy, more mobility, and armor, it's very hard to combat them. But I do think the 263 does a surprisingly good job. First of all, it goes 50 kilometers per hour, which is really nice. Its power to weight ratio was nerfed, but it is still quite a quick vehicle. And it reverses at 20, which is fantastic. Not only does this vehicle have great levels of mobility, but its hull armor is basically impenetrable. Its lower plate is weak, and it does have a bar on the engine deck that you can pen, but in most situations, it actually has really good armor. It has 3,800 DPM and 460 damage per shot. And what's funny is that a lot of people always complain about the accuracy. I remember Fatness used to hate the accuracy on this vehicle. Also, does this Foch really have to take up the entire bush? Like, bro, what are we doing? Move. My tank weighs more than the Foch, so I can at least scooch him over a bit. Yeah, no, that's not happening. It's not happening. You're gonna keep trying. You want to go? Like, what? Okay. Sometimes when I play Blitz, I actually get brain loss. And these are the kind of players that cause it. Because instead of sharing a bush like a proper teammate, they decide to hog the entire bush. And, you know what? Enjoy it. You can have it all to yourself, and I will support my team like an actual player should. So, we have the K91 all the way in the back, and we're going to aim in. There you go. Decent 498 damage shell. We can see that accuracy I was talking about there. Like, yeah, the vehicle's nothing insane on its accuracy, but it's fine, right? You aim and that one was close, but unfortunately, no cigar. We have the 268 in the back, and I'm hoping that the 268 is going to move up. Will the 268? Maybe not. Alright, well, that's okay. We have the, oh, really? How did that bounce? Bruh, that's tragic. Alright, well, we have the, 268 all the way back here, and it's not the accuracy, it's the shell velocity right now that's causing problems. The shell velocity is not quick enough, and because of that, it's not hitting the shots that I'm firing at distance. And obviously, our team is getting absolutely blasted right now. Can't hit the Foch. Problem is, our team is capping the base instead of actually doing something, and that's not exactly what you want from a team, is it? So what we gotta hope here is that the Foch backs off, and then I can support the Foch. Yeah, how'd camping in that bush work now, bozo? Alright, well, we'll see if the enemy team decides to climb over the ridge or not. 54, got the grill. Let's see. I'm hoping the grill... There you go. Perfect. Easy 459 damage shell. And, of course, he gets nuked. And there you go. That's where that good DPM feels great. Obviously able to get out some very, very nasty bleeds into the enemy. Got the T-54. Nice 440 damage shell into you. And let's back up again. We got the Foch in the back. There you go. Nice shell into the Foch. 481. We do get hit by the Rhino, but that's alright. We back up here. Now the Rhino can't hit me anymore. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna test my luck. All that's left at this point is a KPZ. Is that Rhino gonna poke it? Oh, there's the Rhino. Thought the Rhino would. Bonk. There you go. 460. Backing up again. Let's see, is the Rhino going to give me another shot? No, the Rhino doesn't. Alright, well, at this point, not a great situation to be stuck in. But what I'm hoping is that, nah, this KPZ is going to get nuked. I already know. Alright, but I'm going to hope that I can push this Foch, and we'll see. Hello, Mr. Foch, how are you doing? Yes, easy. Now what I have to hope is that I can drive up this ridge. I can aim it on the 268, which is right there. There you go. Got the clearance to the 268. The Rhino fired one into me, and let's just hope that the Rhino doesn't have a second shell. Okay, there you go. 925. And let's back up. There you go. Rhino screwed up the shot. 950. That's a bit of a shame. 960. Shoot him in the track again. Let's try and gun block him here. Oh, that's a real shame, bro. That's a real shame. Womp, womp, lil bro. And there you have it. That is the 263. We played that perfectly. We cleared the 268 with a blind shot, heat shell into its upper plate, taking that player out of the game. We cleared the Foss right when we needed to, and then we were able to back up and win on base cap, dealing over 5,200 damage, getting 3 kills. But somehow that was only a second class. I don't know how. Apparently we only got 1,300 XP. That game deserved a lot more than the amount of XP we got. But at the end of the day, the way XP is calculated is usually by base caps on Supremacy, and because we didn't capture a base, we didn't really get a lot of XP for that. But we still carried the hell out of that game, and we got a really good win. And that's exactly why the 263 does well. I know. People are going to go into the comments, oh my god, it was so bad. But, like, that's Blitz, right? The average player in Blitz is bad. That's how simple it is, right? The average player is 50 to 40%, and most of them don't watch YouTube. So that player, very clearly, didn't understand that you can't damage my tank firing high explosive at the upper plate. A lot of people don't realize this, but the 263's upper plate is over 400 millimeters thick. So firing high explosive at it, you might think, oh, it's an easy kill. It's not. You're not going to damage the 263. Even with, I've aimed a 183 at the upper plate of this tank. It does like 100 damage. It is a ridiculously strong vehicle in that regard, and it allows the 263 to obviously be an extremely big threat. So we're going to move up here. Again, we're using that pretty good mobility. As I said, the tank's power to weight was nerfed, so it's not nearly as fast as it used to be, but it is still fairly quick. We have the T30 all the way in the back. T30's running away. The 183 is obviously pretty heavily bled at this point, so let's aim it on this. Oh, T30's there. Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't like this, but what we will do is we'll be smart about this. We'll cap the base, because that's obviously a smart play. Our team's going to bleed them out, and, I mean, if we just cap the bases, we'll win. I don't know if I'm going to do any damage, because, I mean, you can see what's going on here, but we'll see. That player's dead, and I'm kind of hoping I can push with the standard B, and maybe we can get some damage into the 183 and the rest of these players over here. Here we go. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not allowed to get a shell into that player. So far, we're at 0 damage, which is, well, not a lot, but we're going to push the Caro. Okay. Wow, that one made no sense, I'll be honest. That shell made absolutely 0 sense, but we do get a high explosive pen into the Caro, and our team gets the clear. So, we are doing fine. We're up to 580 on the base cap, which is obviously pretty good. Now we're going to send the enemy T-54, and we'll see if we can get some damage into this player. Actually, we have the Chieftain right here. Let's aim it on the Chieftain. There you go. Nice 410, T-100. Yeah, oh, there goes the standard B. Alright, let's aim it again. 3, 2, 1. Boom. 503 damage. And that leaves us with the T-54 who's sending the Grill. Grill manages to bounce the shot, so let's just head over here. See if we can help out the Grill to the best of our abilities. Alright. Keep on going, and... hello, good sir. Bonk. Nice ram as well. 600 damage there. And we just drive up a little bit. Get the clear into you. Easy shot. Alright. Now we have the BZ and the XM over here. So we're going to aim it on the BZ. He misses me. Wiggle the tank. Oh, XM actually pens. I'm a little surprised there, to be honest. Alright, let's aim it on the XM lower plate with a heat shell for 318 damage. And then all that's left is the BZ. So this battle, we started off pretty poor in terms of damage, right? We drove and drove and drove. The 183 got nuked before we could get a shell out. We got 1 shell into the Caro. It wasn't really until the last, minute and a half of the game where we started picking up damage. But even then, we still ended up dealing 3,400 damage. We assisted 1,358 and got 2 kills. By the way, this shows just how flawed the experience is in Blitz. We earned more XP in this battle, dealing less damage with less kills, but because we capped 2 bases, we got more XP. How does that make sense? I don't know. But what I can say is that both of these games are a great showcase of the Object 263. I absolutely love this tank. I think that a lot of people rate it very harsh, but are incorrect. I think that this tank is honestly more capable than the Badger. I think it's more capable than the 268 version 4. I think the DPM and everything else that it has going for it makes it an absolute beast. But you can let me know. Either way, hopefully enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.